You know you've entered a new phase of your life when your kitchen cabinet starts looking like a mini pharmacy. Not with meds, but with bottles that say ashwagandha, magnesium, vitamin D, and in my case, something vaguely mysterious like L-reuteri probiotic. At some point, when you lose trust in the medical establishment like me, the first thing you do is kinda just slide into the supplement world. You realize your doctor's tool are mostly pills, and in the best of circumstances, they help with your symptoms, maybe, but almost never addresses the root causes of your illnesses. So you start looking elsewhere, nature perhaps, or at least something marketed as nature. I mean, a lot of us probably turn to supplements either because of the attraction of more natural, or after feeling let down by conventional medicine. Antibiotics didn't help, side effects pile up, sometimes things just got worse. And suddenly, a bottle of natural adrenal support seemed more appealing than another round of prescriptions. But here's the twist. In our attempt to escape pharma, some of us just recreated it. Same mindset, just different packaging. This video is not meant to go into detail about which exact supplement is good or bad for you, but just give you my general take on things so that at least you know where and how to approach this vast world. So, usually you start small, the innocent vitamin C when you're coming down with the flu, or magnesium before bed to try to, help relax and sleep better. Then you add maybe vitamin D, and if you've done your research, you also add K2 because you heard it needs it. Next thing you know, you've got a color-coded pill box and an obsession with gut flora. That's when we start chasing the next miracle capsule, believing that the natural world of supplements will help where pharmaceutical drugs failed us. But then, somewhere in there, we just forget to eat a proper lunch. So there are many things to consider when it comes to supplements. Let's break it down one by one. First, let's talk absorption. Many cheap supplements are synthetic and lack the natural cofactors that help your body use them. You might be swallowing your multivitamin daily and just peeing out most of it by noon. And if your urine glows in the dark, then you're most likely overdoing it. In the case of magnesium, for instance, magnesium glycinate or magnesium malate can calm you. They are pretty good actually. Magnesium citrate loosens your bowels, but magnesium oxide, it's cheap and barely absorbed by the body. So yeah, the kind of supplement definitely matters. And it's definitely worth digging deeper if you're looking to have some real benefits and not just wasting your money. Next, supplements can actually be harmful. Iron is great, but only if you're deficient. But if you're not, it builds up, causes inflammation, and damages organs. Same thing with vitamin A or selenium. Even probiotics, those cute little capsules of goodness, can be too much if overused, especially when you ignore the actual terrain of your gut. I mean, your gut is meant to have a wide variety of bacteria, not just a few strains of them. And even the promise of billions of those strains won't cut it either. Diversity is key, and diversity usually doesn't come from a pill, not even the natural type. You may prefer to include more fermented foods instead in your diet, like kimchi, certain types of dairy products, kefir, etc. So the bottom line is, if your liver is already burdened and tired, adding more cleansers through supplements likely will not help. So here's the radical idea. Don't just supplement because someone on a podcast said so. Understand your body type, and if necessary, get tested. I'm personally not a big fan of tests, especially those where you're supposed to start panicking because you're over or under a certain so-called normal range. But I do believe certain tests can be helpful to have an indication of what's going on inside your body, or just to know what pairs well with you and what doesn't. I mean, your body has specific needs, because let's face it, we are all different. For example, while zinc might be magical for one person, it could mess up the copper levels for someone else. Your best friend may swear by a maca powder and your coworker may thrive on B12. That doesn't mean you need them. We all metabolize differently. What's healing for one might be draining for another. And unless you know what your body actually lacks, you're just playing nutrient roulette. And to be honest, I've been playing roulette for a long time myself. The next thing to remember is that supplements are like a tune-up. Use them for a phase, then pause. Maybe magnesium during stress, probiotics after antibiotics. Although personally, I would avoid antibiotics altogether. So anyway, the point is, never take a supplement forever. Just enough, just for a little while. Bear in mind that the body also adapts. That means the effect can fade, and in some cases, long-term use can take a toll on your organs. So more isn't better, smarter is better. Also, let's not forget, the best nutrients usually come from food. In real food, nutrients exist with enzymes, fats, and minerals, so they work in harmony. A pill usually can't do that. And here's the unpopular truth as well. The supplement world is a business. Not all of it, certainly, but a lot of suppliers out there are mostly in for the money. The industry thrives on clever marketing, fear-based headlines, and phrases like, "You're probably deficient." By now, you might think that I'm dead against supplements, but no, that's not the case at all. Not all supplements are bad, but don't be fooled into thinking natural means innocent. The other thing we need to bear in mind is that some nutrients actually need each other to work. Vitamin D, like we said, pair it with K2. Iron needs vitamin C to absorb well. Too much calcium, you need magnesium for balance. Although I think most people don't actually need a calcium supplement to start with. Ultimately, it's not about what you take, but how it dances with everything else in your system. Let's be clear, you can't stay on a fast food diet and supplement your way to health. That's not how it works. You can't take probiotics and still live on sugar and stress. Supplements don't replace lifestyle. They're just some kind of support, like crutches while you heal the root. And what's the root? Well, it's a body nourished with real food, sunshine, clean air, clean water, movement, sleep, good happy thoughts, and love. That's a body that probably doesn't need a dozen capsules every morning. So having said all that, are some supplements actually helpful? Well, I do think so, yes. Vitamin D for those lacking sun, then maybe magnesium for stress, sleep, and detox. There are also omega-3s, as these are often missing in our diet. But you can get those from oily fish. Just try to avoid farm fish, because of the pesticides and dyes and all the other chemicals. Also, a gentle probiotic can help with gut repair, or maybe B12 if you're plant-based. But even these always depend on your personal situation, and adjustments usually need to be made. Personally, I now lean more towards the non-synthetic stuffs like curcumin or spirulina or root powders or spices in general. I've also started taking a good quality extra virgin olive oil for its high antioxidant properties. I like to believe this takes me just a little bit closer to a Mediterranean diet. I'm not actually sure ultimately whether to call these supplements, but I love the fact that they come directly from nature without too much processing. I'll probably cover those in another video one day to share what worked and what didn't work so much. So anyway, if you're feeling a bit overwhelmed by your little bottles, maybe take a step back. Ask yourself, are they actually making me healthier? And maybe, just maybe, the answer isn't in another pill, but in slowing down, going back to eating wholesome foods, having a healthy lifestyle, and perhaps no emotional trauma still hiding in your cells. Ultimately, just try to walk the path of awareness and always choose wisely. If you've enjoyed this, feel free to subscribe and do share in the comment section your own experiences with supplements. Did any of them help or not at all?